Good evening, everyone. Let me begin by telling you a simple truth. In a world that is constantly shouting for your attention, the greatest power you can develop is the ability to focus on yourself. Not in a selfish way, but in a purposeful, disciplined, and visionary way. Self-focus is not about ignoring the world, it's about knowing who you are, what you want, and where you are going before the world tells you who to be. Most people spend too much time looking sideways, checking who's doing better, who's earning more, who's getting more attention, and who seems to be ahead. But here's the truth. The moment you fix your eyes on someone else's lane, you risk losing your own direction. Comparison is a trap. It steals your joy, it clouds your thinking, and worst of all, it distracts you from your own growth. The reality is, no matter how talented or fast someone else seems, they are not living your life. They don't have your story, your challenges, your dreams, or your responsibilities. So what are you really comparing? You see, the real competition is not out there, it's in here. It's in your mind, your habits, your consistency. Every day, you're either moving closer to your potential or drifting further from it. The question isn't, am I better than them? The question is, am I better than who I was yesterday? When you shift your focus inward, everything changes. You stop measuring yourself by someone else's progress and start measuring by your own effort. That's where the real power is. Maybe today you made a better decision than yesterday. Maybe you spoke with more confidence, studied with more focus, or simply showed more patience. That's growth. And growth is success, even if no one claps for it yet. This mindset also protects your energy. Competing with others will exhaust you. There's always someone with more. But when you compete with yourself, every step forward feels like a win, because it is. You become your own standard, your own motivation, your own challenger. And the beautiful thing is, when you get used to this kind of focus, you stop fearing other people's success. You can celebrate them without doubting yourself, because their path doesn't threaten yours. You're running your own race. And the only finish line is becoming the best version of who you were meant to be. That's the kind of focus that builds quiet confidence. Not the kind that needs attention, but the kind that gets results. So forget about trying to be better than anyone else. Just aim to be unrecognizable compared to who you were last year. That's where mastery begins. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose friends and meet new ones. But once time is gone, it's gone for good. That's why it's your most valuable asset. Yet strangely, it's also the thing people give away the easiest, through distractions, meaningless conversations, and obligations that don't align with their goals. You have to learn to treat your time with the kind of seriousness that a dragon treats its treasure, with sharp awareness and fierce protection, not because you want to be selfish, but because you want to be intentional. Every hour you give away should be invested with purpose, not spent out of guilt or habit. People will constantly pull at your schedule. Can you help with this? Just 5 minutes? Come to this meeting? Watch this video? If you're not careful, your day becomes a to-do list written by everyone except you. You wake up with plans and go to bed wondering where the time went. Mastering self-focus means recognizing that not everything deserves your time and not everyone has earned your attention. You have to become selective. You have to be okay saying no, not because you don't care, but because you care too much about what really matters. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve your vision, you're saying no to something that could. And it's not just about what you do, it's also about what you allow into your mental space. Scrolling endlessly through your phone, reacting to every notification, checking your email every 5 minutes. These may feel small, but they slowly drain the clarity you need to do meaningful work. Instead, you need to build rituals that protect your time and energy. Set hours where you work deeply without distraction. Create space for rest and reflection. Turn off what doesn't serve you. These aren't luxuries. They're necessary boundaries for anyone serious about growth. Because here's the truth. People who win aren't necessarily smarter. They're just more focused. They make fewer decisions, but better ones. They don't try to do everything. They do a few things well. They understand that their time is a resource, not to be wasted, but to be invested. Like a dragon choosing where to fly, they don't move without intention. So start guarding your time. Give it only to the people, projects, and habits that bring you closer to your purpose. Everything else is a distraction dressed up as opportunity. And once you begin to live like your time is treasure, you'll notice something amazing. Others will start respecting it too. Discomfort is not a punishment, it's a signal that you're growing. It's the stretch between where you are and where you want to be. The problem is most people run from discomfort. They avoid it, numb it, or label it as failure. But if you truly want to develop, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Think about anything you've ever been proud of in your life, learning a new skill, taking a risk, overcoming a fear. I guarantee you, it didn't come from a place of ease. It came from struggle, uncertainty, even a little bit of fear. That's because growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. When you avoid discomfort, you also avoid progress. You stay where it's safe, but safe rarely leads to greatness. You keep repeating the same habits, the same thoughts, the same outcomes. You talk about change, but nothing changes. Why? Because real change feels awkward. It challenges your identity. It demands new behaviors before the rewards show up. If you want to master self-focus, you must train yourself to stay present in the moment that feel hard. That moment when you're unsure of what to do next, stay there. That moment when it feels like your efforts aren't paying off, stay there. That awkward conversation, that challenging project, that failed attempt, those are your teachers. That's the curriculum of growth. You have to be willing to be a beginner again, to look foolish, to try something and not get it right the first time or even the 10th. You must learn to say, I don't know how to do this yet, but I'm learning. That's not weakness. That's courage. That's what separates those who evolve from those who repeat the same year of their life over and over. And the more you walk into discomfort on purpose, the less power it holds over you. What once felt terrifying becomes familiar. What once made you doubt yourself becomes a skill. This is how confidence is truly built, not from pretending to be perfect, but from surviving the moments when you weren't. In this way, discomfort becomes your ally. It keeps you awake, alert, and humble. It reminds you that you're alive and still learning. So instead of fearing it, start welcoming it. Seek it. Choose the hard path sometimes. Not because it's trendy or noble, but because you know what's on the other side. Comfort might feel good today, but discomfort builds the person you'll be proud of tomorrow. That's why if you ever feel nervous, uncertain, or challenged, it might just mean you're on the right track. Keep walking. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in applause. We live in a time where likes, shares, and followers can feel like currency. It's tempting to measure your worth by the noise around you, the praise, the compliments, the attention. But applause is not proof of progress. It's not the same as results. And it's certainly not a substitute for mastery. The truth is, applause is fleeting. One day you're everyone's favorite, and the next day they move on to the next trend, the next voice, the next face. If you chase applause, you'll forever be chasing approval. You'll shape your actions not around what's meaningful, but around what's popular. And in doing so, you'll slowly drift away from your purpose. Real focus means you're not building to be seen, you're building to be effective. You're working for the long-term impact, not the short-term praise. That's why you need to train yourself to keep your head down and your work sharp, especially when no one is watching and especially when no one is clapping. Some of the greatest breakthroughs are made in silence. The strongest foundations are built when the spotlight is off. The most important work you'll ever do is often invisible to others, but deeply transformative to you. It's the discipline of finishing the book when you don't feel inspired. It's practicing the presentation when no one is listening. It's refining your craft again and again, long after the novelty has faded. You have to resist the urge to announce every move, to perform progress instead of actually making it. Because the moment you start building for applause, you lose the internal compass that keeps you steady. You become reactive instead of intentional, and slowly the work suffers. Because it's no longer rooted in purpose. But when you ignore the applause, something powerful happens. You free yourself. You stop waiting for validation and you start working from conviction. You focus on the process, not the perception. You stop worrying about how it looks and start caring about how it works. And ironically, that's often when people start to take notice, when you're too busy building something real to worry about recognition. Because true excellence doesn't need to shout. It's consistent, it's quiet, and it speaks for itself when the results come. So keep showing up. Keep doing the hard, boring, necessary work. Don't stop to count the claps. Don't pause to read the comments. Let the work be your voice. Let the result be your response. And when the moment comes, when the world finally sees what you've been building, let them applaud. But you keep going. There's more to build. Having a long-term vision is essential. It gives your journey direction, meaning, and purpose. It's the big dream, the future self you imagine becoming, the reason you wake up with ambition. But the problem many people face is they get stuck in the dreaming. They keep looking at the top of the mountain, but they forget that the only way to climb it is one focused step at a time. A vision without action is just a wish. And the only way to make that vision real is to break it down into daily commitments. Things so small they might feel insignificant in the moment, but when repeated over time, they change everything. It's easy to get overwhelmed by how far you have to go. Maybe your goal is to build a business, write a book, change careers, or transform your health. At first glance, it looks impossible. There's so much you don't know, so much you haven't done. That's when doubt creeps in and tells you to quit before you even started. But you don't need to accomplish everything today. You just need to win today. Just today. That means asking yourself, what's the one thing I can do right now that moves me one step forward? Not 10 steps, just one. Mastering self-focus means learning to zoom in and zoom out at the right moments. Zoom out when you need to remember why you started. Zoom in when it's time to do the work. Keep the big picture in your heart, but keep your hands busy with the task in front of you. The most successful people aren't the ones who work non-stop on inspiration. They're the ones who build habits that work even when motivation disappears. They understand that progress is rarely loud. It's often slow, steady, and invisible. But it stacks. Day by day, choice by choice, effort by effort, until one day you look back and realize how far you've come. And when you fall off track, and you will, that's not failure. That's part of the process. What matters most is that you come back to the day in front of you, refocus, realign, start again. Because the beautiful thing about daily effort is that it gives you a fresh chance every morning. So dream boldly, set the vision so high it scares you a little, but then get grounded, make your bed, read the page, send the email, practice the skill. Whatever your mountain is, stop staring at the peak and start climbing. One good day at a time. Win the day, then win the next. That's how futures are built. Your greatest asset is not your job, your degree, or your connections. It's your ability to focus deeply on your own journey, quietly, consistently, and relentlessly. So tune out the noise, tune into your purpose, keep your head down and your heart up. And most importantly, be patient. The world may not see your value today, but if you stay focused on becoming better, they won't be able to ignore you tomorrow. Thank you.